All right, guys. Welcome to Charcoal Expressions. Today we are going to do the classic barn flag. This is a pretty fun drawing. It gives us a study in wood grain as well as a great study in how the American flag was even built, which the original flag certainly wasn't made to be easily replicated. If you take the measurements and try to scale them down, it's not too easy. But we will learn about all the 50 stars and the stripes. It should be really fun. So for today, in this drawing, what we're going to need are the red and blue. We have indigo blue and scarlet red pencils. I have my supplies here that I will dump out in front of me. All right, so we should have our stick of charcoal, important. We need our charcoal pencil, important. We need our white charcoal pencil. We need our 2 blending stumps. I'm not sure we're going to need these a whole lot today. We have the 3 erasers. We have the triangle eraser. We have a little black round eraser and the kneaded rubber eraser. You do need something to trim these. If you don't, I use some dog nail clippers. We also have a pencil sharpener, which I can't seem to find, so let me get in here and grab one out of here. We also have a blending towel and a T-square. We should also have the piece of paper mounted on the plexiglass. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me today. In it already. This should be fun. Feel free to pause throughout the event. This will be quite the experience. All right, here we go. So we're going to set this aside. I'm going to grab our piece of paper here that's mounted on our plexiglass. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to start with our stick of charcoal, and we're going to cover this entire thing up. Now remember, if this is your first time, we want to go outside of the rectangles. This rectangle actually represents the mat that it's going to go in at the end of the drawing itself. So here we go. We're going to just lay this flat on the paper here, and we're just going to cover it up. I personally do it in both directions. One's horizontal, one's vertical. So it should look something like this. We're just looking for kind of an in-between. The nice part is about charcoal drawing is we can add and subtract as much as we want. So I'm going to take now my blending towel, I'm going to hold paper here, and we're just going to do circles. And again, make sure to go outside of the rectangle. I typically end this just going horizontal, kind of smooth it all out. Now it is a little spotty down here, so what I might do is add a little bit more charcoal to it and kind of rub that in. Now with all my drawings too, let's explain that I encourage you to customize these as much as you want. If you don't want the classic 50 stars, you don't have to if you want to do the circle, if you want to do something else. Honestly, it could be any flag. Some people put the blue stripe in underneath. So you can kind of tailor this however you want. You don't even have to add color if you just want a black and white flag. That's perfectly fine. All right, here we go. So first thing we need to do is figure out the boards in the background. So this is a take on the flag actually being painted on the side of a barn, and it looks kind of weathered and old. So first thing we need to do is find out where the boards go. So I'm just going to reference my original drawing here. Okay, so if you haven't drawn with me before, what we need to do is use the T-square always against the plexiglass. Okay, either from the top or from the left. This gives us a true horizontal vertical line. So what we're going to do first, the measurements are from the plexiglass as well. What we're going to do is we're going to go from the top first. We're going to grab our pencil and we're going to make some marks. Now it doesn't really matter where, because these lines are all going to go across. So we're going to go here on the left. So from the top on the left, take your pencil. We're going to make some reference marks to represent the shadow in between each board. So we're going to start at 2.5. So make a mark at 2.5 inches. Then we're going to go every inch after that. So 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5. Now 9.5 is down here. If you want to put that in, go right ahead. So we'll go 9.5. So after that, so we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We should have 8 marks down the side. Now what we need to do is take our T-square from the left. We're going to line it up with each of those marks, and we're going to draw a line all the way across. Now I realize these T-squares are only 12 inches long, so that gives us a little bit of leeway on the other side. So these need to be nice and thick, so I would do them twice. So I'm just going to go down the left side first. Because these are representing a shadow. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is flip my T-square over here on the right and kind of do the same thing, just to take it all the way across. I hope this isn't an uncomfortable silence. Okay, so we should have stripes all the way across. So I'm going to sharpen my pencil here. Okay, so now it's time to make some wood grain. What we like to do is when we make wood grain, we're going to do the black lines in first, and then we're going to erase the white lines in. So this is going to represent the winter growth and summer growth of the wood itself. A couple ways we can do this. We can take the stick of charcoal, use it on one of the corners or the flat edges, or we can use your pencil. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to use this, and we can do some kind of calligraphy. Now it depends on what kind of wood you're looking for, but you just kind of take it like so on the corner, right? Make sure to go outside those lines. Typically wood grain will follow somewhat the same path. So this is going to represent each board. So there's one, something as simple as that. If you wanted to change it up, so we're just going to go on down. Just try to keep every board a little bit different. Okay, so here we are. We've got our shadows in for our boards. We have the wood grain in as far as the black lines. Now we need to erase kind of in between those. Now there's a couple ways to do this as well. You can take your kneaded eraser like so. Now these work really well when you warm them up and play with them for a while. So here's one way. You can take this, you can make kind of a flat, blunt point out of it, and you can go across each board, and I'll show you this example, like so, and it kind of pushes and blends, kind of pushes that black wood grain into the paper as well as kind of fading it to make it look a little more realistic. So what I'm going to do is take it like that and do each board. Now you don't have to push very hard, and when it stops working for you, all you need to do is kind of pull it apart, play with it, put it back together. All right? So just going to go across here. See how I'm just flipping it every once in a while after I go through? So some are going to be a little lighter than others. Now there's another step to this. So we're going to add a little bit more of the summer growth detail, which is the white, right after this. Okay, so we should be approximately like this. Then what I like to do is highlight just a few things. So take either one of these erasers, right, and you can come through and you can hold it flat. Now, with this eraser, I don't hold this like a normal pen. It's really hard to get down, you know, and have a very small angle holding it like this. I mean, so I always hold it upside down, right, like this, in my hand. And I just go through, and maybe I will gently, you don't have to push very hard, gently just go through and highlight some certain areas that maybe you want a little bit brighter. Make sure to go in between those. So we should have something like that. Now, if your black shadow lines aren't dark enough for you, you can certainly go in and darken those up if you'd like, but you don't have to. Okay, now we need to set the rectangle for the flag itself. Now, I'm going to reference throughout this drawing, I'm going to reference my original. I typically don't use templates other than maybe a cup for a circle. But if I've got 74 different pictures and it's hard to memorize all of the measurements, so I might be going back and forth trying to just establish the measurements I have on my original. Now, all of these drawings were drawn by me originally, but sometimes you have to go back and reference it. And I'm only human, I mean, geez. I wish I was superhuman and could memorize everything. Okay, so what we need to do is take some measurements. We're going to take our charcoal pencil and we're going to make, what we need to do is make a rectangle. So in order to do that, we're going to take our T-square, we're going to take it all the way on the right-hand side from the top. And wherever you have somewhat of a clean space. Okay, so I have a clean space over here. So I need to, actually, again, being human, let's go on the left. That would make more sense. Okay, so we're at the top. It's square against the top. We want to take our pencil, make a mark at 3 inches and 8 inches. Like so. So we should have 3 and 8. Now, what we need to do is take our T-square from the left, line it up with that 3-inch mark, and make sure I have our measurement correct. We're going to go from 3 inches to 11 inches. So we're going to go like this. We'll take our pencil, we're going to go from 3 to 11. Okay, we're going to do the same thing down here, 3 to 11. All right, then we can close that out. So we're just going to set our T-square on the top, line it up with your mark, and you can go straight down. Remember, it's going to go from 3 to 8. All right. So maybe this one's not dark enough for you, can't really see it, so we can certainly add that back in. Whatever it takes so we can see our rectangle. All right. Now what we need to do is find the rectangle for the stars. Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to take our T-square from the top, line it up with the left-hand edge of that flag rectangle. Okay, just like this. Okay, and we're going to make a mark at 5 3/4. So 5 3/4, we're going to make a mark. Make it nice and dark. So we should have a mark right about here. Then we're going to draw a line from the left all the way to 6 1/2. Okay, just like this. 6 1/2. So we should have a rectangle. We should have a line that goes across. Then we're going to take our T-square from the top, line it up with the end of that 6 1/2, and draw a line from the flag rectangle down to that 5 3/4. Right? So we should have a rectangle within a rectangle. So there's where we are so far. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves, relaxing. You guys are doing really well, I'm assuming. Okay. Next part, you need to find out where all these stripes go. Not the easiest thing in the world. So here's what we're going to do. If I remember correctly, each stripe is approximately 3/8 of an inch. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is there's a stripe that's going to start right underneath the stars. So take your pencil, line the T-square up from the left like so. Draw a line right underneath the stars, only to the edge of the rectangle though, like so. Okay, so now, that should be at 5 3/4. So we're going to measure from 3/8 of an inch down. Now, a lot of my customers kind of just wing it. Some actually measure it out. I can tell you we should have 7 stars in, or seven stripes in this area, and we should have 6 down here because there are 13. Okay, so if you don't know what 3/4 or 3/8 of an inch are, I could show you up here. So we have the inch mark. This is half. This is quarter. Half of that is eighth. So 1, 2, 3. So the littlest ones are 16ths. So we have 1, 2, 3. So if we take our T-square like so. Now you can do it in the flag, and I have some people go out to the side here. So if we're starting at 3, you can find a clean space over here and go 1, 2, 3, make a mark, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13. Great work. So again, starting at 3, 3/8 of an inch all the way down. And that should be perfect. All we need to do is create these stripes. So the first stripe is going to be red, so we can draw a line in here. So you're measuring it up with just below 3, 3 3/8, drawing it across only in the flag itself. Okay, there's stripe number 1. Number 2. Now we'll take this, and what I have done in the past is take your little eraser, and you can erase a line across, or you could draw it in black. It's totally up to you. Sometimes after a while it's really hard to see all of these little stripes. So first let's just put them all in black. That one's going to go all the way across. Okay. Now hopefully you can see all the different stripes somewhat. Now what we can do is take our pencil. I'm going to sharpen this up, the black one. So what we can do is we can go up to this first one we have here, and you know, we can certainly darken that in a little bit. Then we go to our next one down. We can take our kneaded eraser once again, put it into more of a point, like so. And we can kind of take out some of that. And maybe we'll add a little bit to this one. Take out a little in this one. So add. I'm not sure we really have to add a whole lot to those. Just paint it on. So when we do the red, we'll do that. So the one right underneath the stars is going to be white. So we can certainly highlight some of that one. So I'm going to just go every other. It's okay if it gets a little confusing. Certainly won't be the only one. So I decided not to darken those in. And that last one should be red. So what I think we're going to do now is you're going to grab your white pencil and your red one, and how about we just go through and take care of these stripes just the way they are. So we've got our white pencil and we have our red one. So we're going to go like this. So the top one is going to be red. So we're going to go like this. Now you can be as vibrant as you want with this, or as dark as you want. Remember, it's supposed to resemble wood being painted on an old barn. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm actually going to take my finger and I'm just going to kind of smudge it out just a little bit. So then we go down to the next one, and we're going to put some white in, like so. I'm going to do the same thing. You don't have to. If you want it really bright, just leave it just the way it is. We're just going to keep going down. Make sure you sharpen your pencils every once in a while, especially if you're going to use it on the side, just because you don't want the actual wood to start rubbing into the paper. So it's going to create some really bad lines we can't get rid of. Okay, so a little more white here. Okay, so we should have our stripes, and we should have 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. Okay. Doing good. I might darken mine in a little bit while you guys are finishing up. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to add a little bit of black. Just put some of my wood grain kind of back in after I kind of smudged it out. Okay, on to the fun part. The stars. Now, there are 9 rows of stars as we go down. And the top row is 6, the second row is 5, and it goes 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5. Now, some people wing it, some people measure it. I didn't measure mine. So what I like to do is take the white pencil at this point, and we're just going to put dots in. So we're going to put 6 dots in, and then we're going to kind of work our way down the left-hand side to give us kind of that. So dude, let's just jump right in. Okay. So we're going to draw lightly first, then we're going to jump right in. Now, if you have a note card or anything, or an extra piece of paper, so instead, when we're doing all this intricate work with the stars, you can take a note card or a piece of paper, or the magazine that's in your box, or whatever. You can use this as a hand rest, because I don't want you to smudge out all that hard work you just did over here. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to start making some very light dots until I know exactly where I want them to go. So like I said, there's 6. So, and you have to leave enough room for the stars. So we're going to put a dot here, 1. And then maybe over here, 2. And 3. 4. 5. And 6. So obviously not perfect. Okay. Now it's important that these are somewhat horizontal and good. So when we actually draw the stars in, you can certainly double check with all that. But it's okay to put a dot there, because that dot actually is kind of nice to have, because we're actually going to make the star, like around it, or that dot's going to be in the middle of it. So now what we need to do is figure out how far down, because we need 9 rows. So there's 1, and remember, we're going to stair step it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're going to end up with 6 at the bottom. So we're going to try to space these out on the way down. So I'm going to put one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not sure I've ever gotten that on the first try. So we should have 6 across. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. Now what we need to do is we're going to go in between each one of these in the same row here. So we can take our T-square like so, and we'll put one here, just kind of judge it in the middle. We'll go down to the next one, again, right in between those two, or the same here. And the next one. All right, so then we have 6 more. Okay. Right now we should have a bunch of dots. I know it was tedious, frustrating, or really relaxing and fun. Okay, so some of you might be tempted to take your blue and draw the blue in and then put the stars over it. The problem with that is that it's hard to do color over white or white over color. Okay, these two, even though this is white charcoal, this is more of a charcoal pastel, they're not perfectly the same as far as chemistry goes. So if we were to do, you know, a big thing of blue and then try to draw white over the top of it, it just doesn't work. So we're going to sharpen this white pencil up and start drawing some simple stars. Right, we're just going to do, right, just like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And then you can always kind of clean them up as you go. Okay, so we're going to do that with our white. So what we want to do is kind of put those right around each dot. Like so. Kind of tedious, isn't it? Now they don't have to be perfect. Remember, this is painted on the side of a barn. I know there's a lot of them. Do the best you can. If by chance you made a mistake, which mistakes are good because how else would we learn? So say all of a sudden I put a star in the wrong spot, like this, okay? So what we do is take our little round eraser, we can erase that star out, like so. Okay, we can take one of these blending tools, and we're just going to use the side of it, not the tip. We just kind of rub it over, and it's gone. And then we just corrected it. Try to keep your stars somewhat the same size. I thought this would be a great picture for the upcoming holiday, so this should be in your June box. It's a lot of stars. Sometimes I need to just go in and see how I'm doing as far as being horizontal. Bottom is kind of where it gets weird. Seems like we always like to condense things towards the bottom. Don't beat yourself up over it though. It's like this is all just about having fun, being creative, a little patriotic. As you can see, the tip of my white pencil keeps breaking. It's all right. Okay, there we go. Now, as you can see, again, being human, not all of my stars are identical in same size, and as you can see, it gets a little more condensed at the bottom. But I'm okay with it. Now what we can do is take our blue pencil, right, and then we can start filling in around. Again with the note card. So we'll smudge all of our hard work we've already done. Now again, I don't like it super bright and vibrant, so I'm more or less just going to take it from the side. I'm just going to kind of come through. Go around these stars. I've seen customers, outline every single star. It's totally fine. Take your time. Have some fun with it. Again, I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Well, we're almost complete with this one. If you decided to make anything extra in here, I applaud you for that. Should make it your own. I don't expect everybody's to look like mine. Just trying to show you how easy it is to work with charcoal and have some fun with it and kind of customize as we go. Charcoal is super forgiving. It's really correctable. Get your hands dirty, so hopefully nobody is too scared of that. It does come off quite easy. And I hope everybody's spring is going well. We are based in Wisconsin, and it seems like the spring that just doesn't want to show up. It being 2019, and seems like we just keep having fall weather instead of spring. Okay, so that I got the bulk of it done, I can go through, kind of clean up some of the spots that I didn't do before. Like I said, you can be as exact as you want with this, or as free as you want with this. It is your drawing. Maybe I can go in and touch up a couple of these stars. Like I said, it doesn't draw over the blue very well. All right, there we have it. We have our classic barn flag. So there it is. You guys can certainly pause if you need more time, if you want to add more white, if you want to add another stripe, if you want to do it again. Doesn't matter. I might go through it. This is a little bright for me, so I might go through with my little blending tool here. And I might just go through and kind of soften this up. Kind of take this through, again, using the side, not the tip by itself. Right, you can just go through, you can kind of smooth this out. Oh yeah, that looks good. Now remember, we need to clean this blending stump off before we jump into the next picture, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Because we don't want to add blue to something that's supposed to be black. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of blue down here. So in order to clean this off, usually take it, rub it with my fingers, then take it to the kneaded eraser, and then you can just roll it over that. You can do it with both sides if you want. If it ever gets way too dirty for you, this will take some of it off, as you can see. If you ever need to add any, it's pretty nice. You can use your stick of charcoal. This is just for future reference. You know, you can take your stick of charcoal, rub a little bit over here, and you can kind of roll this around, pick it up, and now all of a sudden, and then you can certainly clean it off. So, really versatile. Okay, so there we have it. The the barn flag. So we're going to set my supplies aside. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Feel free to leave some comments on the video. Maybe have a suggestion to make it easier. Or if you thoroughly enjoyed yourself, that's fine. That would be fantastic. So, plexiglass, tape. What we need to do is take this off. So you want the tape to completely off of the picture because, you know, if by chance 20, 30 years from now somebody finds this hanging somewhere, the tape acts like an acid, so it's going to ruin the paper after a while. What we do need to do is sign this. So you can either take white or black and sign your picture. I typically do my signature with just the year. And if you want it to be seen, you're going to need to make sure that it's 1/4 of an inch inside that original rectangle. You can make it in the flag, you can make it down here in the corner. Typically, you can do whatever you want. So we're going to take this, we're going to sign it, going to put the date, and we're good to go. So tape is off, plexiglass aside. I'm going to take our fixative, which I just used hairspray. Make sure that hairspray does not have any water in it. Right, so we're just going to lightly spray over the top of it. So that's going to adhere the charcoal to the paper so that it's pretty smudge proof. I'm going to we're going to grab our mat kit that should be in your subscription box. So this is the backing, this is the mat itself. Lay this over the top. That one, so we're layered in. And we should have something like that. Now all you need to do is find an 11 by 14 frame and put it in, hang it up, give it as a gift, do it again, doesn't matter. The protective sleeve, you can slide that back in, especially if you're going to give it away as a gift. And then this actually has an adhesive here, which you can take off. You can protect it. Maybe it's raining outside. There we go. It's the barn flag. Hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I will see you next time. Thanks for being with Charcoal Expressions. Again, my name is Rob. I had a great time drawing with you today. Thank you for being with us. I hope you found it a very fun experience, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.